Alright, what's going on everyone? It is Zombies here again, and today we have another team video. This one is going to be on another one of the new Galarian forms for the legendary bird trio. This one's going to be featuring Zapdos. So this team is kind of focused around Zapdos as well as G-Max Lapras. We're going to try and leverage them to our advantage, along with some other fast and bulky team members we have. We have Landorus, who is a great lead, as is Whimsicott for setting up a priority Tailwind or Taunt. Then we have Garchomp as one of the more tanky members, who still packs quite a punch in spite of having no EVs invested into his attack. Lastly, we have Togekiss to help round out the team with a fairy type that's also flying, so we can get off earthquakes with Landorus and Garchomp more often without worrying about hitting our own teammates. So that's just a little brief overview though, and right now we're going to take a look more in depth into each of these Pokemon's moves, EVs, and items. Alright, so first up we have Zapdos, who is a force to be reckoned with. And he is a fantastic lead choice, especially if you think your opponent is going to start off with an Intimidate user. Because of his Defiant ability, you would actually end up with a +1 to attack instead of a -1, which is just fantastic. So for moves, we're running Thunderous Kick. However, Close Combat is also a worthy consideration if you want a bit more damage output and aren't as concerned about the defense lowers afterwards. Then we have Brave Bird, which is a super strong stab move, but we do have to be mindful of the recoil damage it causes at times. The other reason we're running this is for max airstream, get that speed boost when we Dynamax. We have Blaze Kick, just a good coverage move that helps us hit additional mons and prevents us from getting walled by things like Metagross. And then lastly we have Protect, which, just a solid utility move, helps with stalling out a turn, staying safe, etc. So then we look at these. So we got Jolly as the nature. We want to make sure that we have good speed here. We're rocking the Life Orb as the item. Get that little bit of extra bonus damage at the cost of some health. And then EVs are rocking 252 in attack, 252 in speed, and 4 in HP. So pretty standard, simple set, just goes all out with the attack and the speed to be as fast and as damaging as possible. Next, we'll take a look at one of the other star members of the team, G-Max Lapras with Weakness Policy. This set is great because Lapras's G-Max move sets up an Aura Veil that grants us extra protection from damaging moves, both physical and special, for 5 turns. Combining this with Weakness Policy to give it a sharp attack boost can lead to a surprising amount of sweeps, especially against opponents who don't think to play around it. For the moves, we've got Freeze Drive for coverage against dragons and all the flying types running around, as well as getting some super stab effectiveness versus water types when we aren't Dynamaxed. Then we got Hydro Pump as our stab water attack, and Thunder for making use of the rain that often gets set when we Dynamax. Lastly is Protect, as it seemed more beneficial to me than looking for any of the other possible coverage moves we could have added. For EVs, we have 236 in defense, 200 in special attack, 60 in speed, and 12 in HP. So our EVs are a little all over the place here, but it seems to have been working out for me so far. We basically just want to make sure we're hitting hard, but we are also defensive, and that speed is just there so that with a Tailwind boost, we have a greater chance of outspeeding other Pokemon and sweeping with Lapras if we get the chance once we get the boost from the Weakness Policy. Now let's look at Garchomp, whose main role on this team is going to be one of the more tanky Pokemon. So he's rocking the Assault Vest to give him that extra specially defensive bulk, and he has access to a nice variety of moves that include Iron Head and Rock Slide, which both seem strong against many of the teams I've been facing. He is not our primary Dynamax target, but if we do end up using it on him, it's not really an issue. It can be good because we can set up a Sandstorm for additional special defense boost, as well as triggering Sandveil and becoming more likely to dodge opponents' attacks, which is pretty powerful. He, along with Landorus, give us electric immunity, which can be really nice to switch into, and then threaten a kill afterwards. Even without any investment into a special attack, he still packs one hell of a punch. So speaking of EVs, let's talk about the EVs in the nature. So we're rocking Adamant Nature to get that boost in attack. That's really the only boost we have in attack, but it is enough. And then for EVs, we have 220 in HP, 180 in defense, and 108 in special defense. So as you can see, we are a very defensively oriented set. Garchomp just has enough natural high attack to where we can not really worry about investing in it, and he'll still deal a lot of damage for us. And with this setup, he can take quite a large number of hits, especially if you Dynamax him. Next member of our team is Whimsicott, who acts as our Tailwind setter and has a Focus Sash, so that's guaranteed to get a hit off with its fairly strong special attack after it sets a Tailwind. Taunt can also be very clutch and convenient for opposing Tailwind setters like Tornadus. Energy Ball provides this team with some very much needed water type coverage, as our other options for dealing with them are pretty sparse outside of Lapras. Then we have Dazzling Gleam, as it's just a solid stab fairy attack that hits both of the opponents. So for nature, we are rocking a Timid Nature to get that fast as possible. And then we have Tailwind, give our team that nice speed boost. Taunt to prevent other Pokemon from getting speed boost. Trick Room, setting up, you name it. Just great utility move. Energy Ball, and then Dazzling Gleam. And our EVs are 252 special attack, 252 speed, and 4 in defense. So we're all just about that speed and damage. It's pretty straightforward. Another fairy type we have on the team is Togekiss, who is using the Scope Lens to get that extra chance towards a critical hit on top of the boost we already get from our Serene Grace ability. Then we have Air Slash to hopefully get some flinch hacks with the bonus from the ability as well. Next is Follow Me to hopefully mess up the opponent's plan of attack, and Helping Hand to boost up our other Mon's attack, preferably once we have already Dynamaxed them. And lastly, we have Dazzling Gleam again, just for that good double hitting damage move that is stab coverage. Alright, now let's take a look at the nature and EVs. So for nature, we're rocking Bold. So this is a more defensively oriented Togekiss, as we can see in the EVs here. We have 244 in HP, 244 in defense, and 20 in speed. We have just a little bit in speed there, but not a whole lot. More focused on HP and defense, along with our defensive boosting nature, so that we can really tank quite a few hits with this. So he's kind of our secondary tanky Pokemon, along with Garchomp. Last but certainly not least, we have Landorus, who is a fantastic lead choice and pairs very nicely with having 2 other flying types on the team who are immune to his Earthquake. We have a Choice Scarf on him that gets that extra speed bonus, which can be extra important if we're trying to switch out before getting hit with our move U-turn. Having Intimidate in combination with the speedy switching move can be especially devastating if you're up against a more physically focused team. being able to Earthquake uninhibited is really nice, and Fly is mainly there just in case it seems beneficial to Dynamax Landorus, even though he's not really our first pick to Dynamax with. Finally, for our last move, we have Rock Slide for general coverage and flinch chance, and let's take a look at those nature and IVs, or EVs rather. So for nature, we're rocking Adamant because we just want that max damage possible. And then for EVs, we have, that looks like a little typo there. It's going to be 252 in attack, 252 in speed, and 4 in HP. So just remember that is not actually a 252 special attack. It's 252 regular attack. But other than that, it's actually pretty straightforward, just fast and really high attack. So great Pokemon. Alright, and that's going to about wrap it up for this team building video. So I hope you have enjoyed. There's going to be a battle video accompanying this, probably coming up tomorrow, that showcases the team in action, so you can get a little better sense of how it works, and I think it showcases it pretty nicely. But I'm going to do some more testing with the team, see how it performs. So far it's been performing real well. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm probably going to do a video on the last of the new Galarian bird forms, the Articuno form, later this week, just to get the full trio, because I think they are really just fun and interestingly designed Pokemon that are really enjoyable to team build around in VGC. So that's going to do it for this episode. We have the rental code up here now for anyone who wants to try out the team. Just input that, download it, and you should be good to go. It's a pretty fun team to use. But that's going to do it for me. I will see you guys next time. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe. And that's it. See ya.